We are in front of Stratfor doing 108 sun salutations, wishing Jeremy Hammond a happy birthday. Performing 108 sun salutations is a traditional way to mark an important day, whether that's an anniversary, a birthday, a death. There are 108 Shaktis, or activation points, in the body. So some people say that that's the significance behind 108. So my intention is to abolish prisons. That's always my intention. I want to see us switch to a system of transformative justice. I want to live in a world where people do good because it is good, not that they avoid doing wrong because they're afraid of punishment. It's important to remember that today is Jeremy Hammond's 30th birthday, and the reason why we're standing in front of Stratfor is because he hacked it illegally, right? And he broke it openly, lovingly, and willingly in the hopes that his action would help move us towards a world where there is no more capitalism and no more state. And that's the exact same intention that I have in doing these sun salutations. Now you might say, okay, how is yoga going to do that? But the reality of the situation from my perspective is that we're all moving towards a system of universal liberation. So I would say this is a gift to Jeremy as a way of saying thanks for hacking Stratfor. It's also in the hopes that the yoga itself can move us closer to that universal liberation. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. The mantra that I chose, Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, means may all beings be free and happy. What kind of world does Stratfor want? I think Stratfor wants a world in which the status quo and the 1% continue to give them money to keep the kind of stability that we have now, which is not a peaceful stability. It is a situation in which the corporate conglomerates and their crony governments are benefiting at the expense of tremendous amount of environmental damage and human suffering. I mean, look at their client list. It's really pretty clear that they want the status quo to be benefited and continue, even knowing that it harms people. You know, there's definitely a sense that these people aren't even willing to admit to what they've done. You know, there's something, I think, more admirable about just saying, yes, we work for Dow Chemical, and Dow Chemical doesn't want to pay to clean up the mess in Bhopal, and we're helping them to make sure that they save money by infiltrating groups that are resisting against trying to get justice. They don't want to come out and admit that these are the things that they've done. You know, they don't want to admit that their actions helped to entrap Jeremy. I don't think that they really want to admit that the kind of world order that they wish to keep stable isn't, right? It's crumbling around us, and we need new solutions. Stratfor is not interested in seeing that transition. I think they understand that the system's collapsing, but their interest is to make as much profit as humanly possible before that system collapses. We have to resist against it. I don't know in what other words to put it. Dive into change. Don't be afraid. Yes, the system is crumbling. That's okay. New things will come, and they will be better than the things that we have now. All we have to do is have the courage to let go of the past and dive into the future. Jeremy gave us a heads up that we were being surveilled and infiltrated, not just by government organizations, but also by privatized corporate intelligence agencies. We knew we were being infiltrated. We knew that we were being surveilled, but to have those emails prove it made a huge difference. I was in Occupy Austin pretty much from the beginning. I showed up on the second day of occupation, and I became pretty heavily involved, I would say, happened after Thanksgiving. I had just helped to deliver dinner to the occupation, and all the food had run out before I could eat anything. And I was going to go get dinner with a friend, and we got the text message saying that riot cops were there and that we were getting swept off the plaza. We were given an hour to evacuate, and then we left, at the strong insistence of 60 riot cops that basically swept us off the plaza and then chased us around downtown in the rain for a while. I'm not sure when the information that Jeremy gave to Occupy Austin became known. I believe in the power of connection, and I believe that we don't know what can come from connection. So what I would say is the significance of the January 8th action is, first of all, making sure that Stratfor understood that as long as Jeremy Hammond is behind bars, he is not forgotten, and we will continue to shine a light on their organization and to remember his sacrifice. But also the idea that by creating spaces that are politicized and engaging in actions that build connection, that other things arise from that connection. So, for example, one of the activists that I met for the first time at that action, we went on to found PAPS, Prison Abolition and Prisoner Support, which is an organization that seeks to support any prisoner that wishes to be supported. So we don't limit on the basis of social prisoners or political prisoners or innocent prisoners, just anyone who wants to be supported in terms of receiving pen pals will be able to be listed on the site. And we're also providing an online mailbox that anyone can use. So if there are people who currently are not writing to prisoners because they don't wish to use their own address or they don't have a physical address, then they can use our service. We chose a cat piñata because Jeremy likes cats, and also because it had come out recently that he had a really insecure password. His password was the name of his cat, Chewy123. I like piñatas. They're happy. I had a hard time even whacking the stick because by 108 sun salutations, my arms weren't so functional. I believe in building communities of resistance, and I think that we do that through mutual aid and connection. Any act of connection, any act that bridges across the razor wire is really important, whether that's sending a postcard or sending a letter. You know, the United States has more prisoners than any nation in the world. And in Texas, we hold a quarter of the nation's prisoners. A more orthodox anarchist would say, well, this isn't even a direct action. You're not directly engaging against Stratfor. You're not impeding their business. Yoga is an act of self-care. And what I would say to that is that what we need in order for the world to be different is for people to take whatever it is that they're doing and figure out a way to use that towards societal change. The danger of looking at somebody like Jeremy Hammond is to say, well, he's a superstar. You know, he's a hacker, good baseball player from what I hear. I can't do the things that he does. And the lesson I want people to take away is it doesn't matter who you are or what skills you have that you bring to the table. You can do something towards societal change. You can do something that can make the world a better place. All of us can.
I'm out here to support people that try to do good for all of us and get in trouble for it, even though it's not fair.
I would say it's important to me because what he did helped all of us as activists, and so I feel like we all owe him a debt of gratitude.
I came to Occupy with completely empty hands, and there was a movement there for me. There were things for me to do there, and there's a very real danger in putting someone like Jeremy on a pedestal and saying he's the hero, he's the revolutionary. I can't do the things that he does, therefore I can just stay home and watch TV and do nothing. And what I want to get across to people is whatever skill you have, even if it's something like yoga that doesn't immediately seem that it would be directly applicable to doing resistance work, bring it to the table and figure out a way to make it part of your resistance work and see what happens, because it may turn out that other people are drawn to that thing and also can see its potential for revolution or transformation.